I moved to LA when I was 18 years old, and 9 months later, I was starring on the hit Netflix series On My Block. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you exactly how it all happened. Every step, every mistake, and even all of the embarrassing moments that I hate talking about. What's up, guys? I'm Diego Tinoco. You might have seen me on Netflix's On My Block, Bad Hombres, Muzzle, or Sony's Knights of the Zodiac. Or maybe you've just seen me scrolling on Instagram and on TikTok. But what you probably don't know is how all of this actually started. I started taking acting classes when I was 16 years old. My mom would drive me from Corona, California, all the way to a kids acting studio in Los Angeles. This place was called 321 Acting Studios. They had this ongoing acting class that I signed up for, and well, I fell in love with it instantly. Everything about it. Time vanished, and the only thing that mattered was the story in front of me. Now, the teachers there saw this passion and fire that I had for acting, and they put me into their exclusive talent showcase program. Now, a talent showcase is exactly what it sounds like. You perform in front of talent agents and managers in hopes of getting recognized and, well, ultimately signed. I was 16 and I trained for about 6 weeks, practicing commercials, monologues, scene study, my manners, everything you think an actor can practice. And then came the night of the showcase, and I was terrified. My brother had paid a large sum of money for me to participate in this talent showcase. And I just remember thinking to myself, dude, what if I mess this up and I waste all of his money? After a few days went by, we got messaged by 5 different talent agents and managers. They had seen my performance and they wanted to meet in person. So my dad literally threw me on the back of his motorcycle and drove me all around Los Angeles to meet all of them in person. And somehow I got signed. Now, once I had the reps, I started auditioning for just about everything. Disney, Nickelodeon, MTV, Netflix. I auditioned for every project that you can think of. Until finally, I booked my first ever role on MTV's Teen Wolf. I grew up watching that show with my friends every Monday after school. So I was literally so nervous, about to pass out before stepping on set, especially since my scene was with the 2 main characters, Dylan O'Brien and Tyler Posey. But when I was on set, I watched how everybody there had passion and love for what they were doing.
What's up, baby? What's your name?
And this really settled me in. I felt at home.
It's been a little on edge.
What the hell did you say? What did you just say? Hey! Who's on edge?
It was that experience where I knew I had to do this for the rest of my life. So, right after high school, I packed my bag and I moved to the city you all know. It's Los Angeles. My first apartment was apartment number 33 on 4622 La Mirada Avenue. There was cockroaches, no AC, and it was basically a sauna. But I was the happiest kid in the world because I had a plan, a real handwritten plan. Step 1, get a job to survive. Step 2, join an acting studio. Step 3, fix my chipped and crooked teeth. And step 4, book a TV series as a lead. And that was pretty much it. So, I got a job at the Wood Ranch inside of the Grove Mall, and I delivered for Postmates. My life basically became work, auditions, acting classes, and repeat, and that was pretty much all I had time for. But in that period of time, I learned 2 valuable things. Number 1, don't let the people around you bring you down. Their path is not your path. And 2, practice being optimistic because it's a skill and people can sense it, and you're gonna need it in 2026. When I wasn't working 24/7, I was practicing my craft at an acting studio called the Playhouse West. It was a community of hungry and dedicated actors, and there I found my first real home. We trained together, we rehearsed together, we read books together, and we all grew together. One of the books I recall reading was called The Artist's Way, and it changed my entire perspective on life. It taught me how to be really comfortable being alone, which at that time was one of my biggest fears. I hated being alone, but what I hated more than being alone was being scared of being alone. It held me back with my art, my personality, my choices in life, and that book really helped me overcome it. By my 8th month in LA, I was auditioning 3 to 4 times a week, getting told no weekly, working 2 jobs, going to acting classes at night, and having 0 time for absolutely anything else. My brain was toast. I needed a break. So I had made plans with friends to finally enjoy a Friday night out. I was ready. Finally relax, get into some fun, and just blow off some steam. But right then and there, an audition came in. That's how it always works, right? It was for an untitled Netflix Netflix project. And I read the sides, I read the script of the pilot, and I actually strongly connected with the character. I connected to what they were going through at that point in time. Lost, separated from my friends, trying to find myself in a brand new city, and ultimately worried that I was gonna lose all of my friends and family back home. But even though I strongly connected to the material, the doubts and stress in my mind kept telling me, nah, I'm not gonna get this either way. Why even study? I'm just gonna get told no again like I always do. So I grabbed my keys and I started walking out of the door. And then something stopped me. A voice in my head, and it told me, this is not why you moved here. You came here with a mission. Show up for your dream and your dream will show up for you. So I put my keys down, canceled everything, and I stayed home just to study for one more night. One choice changed my entire life. The next morning I woke up rested, prepared, and did the audition that would change my entire future. Weeks went by and I heard nothing. I thought I blew it, to be honest. Everyone back home kept telling me, just come home. It's not gonna work out. You tried your best. Parents, friends, girlfriend, everybody doubted the vision. And I really did consider moving back home, getting a job, and just putting my dream to the side. But again, something told me to hold on. A few weeks later, the phone rang and I got the message.
Oh my God, okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone?
Netflix wants to see you for a chemistry read. It was the big day. Everything that I worked for was on the line here. On the drive there, I remember playing a song called This Is the Day by a band called The. In that song, there's a line that says, this is the day that your life will truly change.
This is the day your life will surely change.
I walked into the casting room and it was full of actors who look exactly like one another. Because, well, we were all going in for the same roles. Now, you can only imagine how awkward that must have been. They had us mix and match with different actors to see where the chemistry was. And honestly, everyone did an amazing job. But when I read with Julio, aka Spooky, and when I read with Sierra, aka Monse, the chemistry with our acting felt really strong. Not only was the chemistry very strong, but me and Julio were literally wearing the exact same outfit. We were both wearing a black tee, blue jeans, and a pair of Vans. Like they say, there's no such thing as coincidences. I remember walking out of that room and having my adrenaline rush through my veins. Almost so much so that I might have said out loud, bro, I wouldn't even go in there, man. We just booked that. Dios mío. Probably the cockiest moment of my life. And I'm not proud of it. But what I can say is I was hungry. I wanted the job and I was competitive. So it was 4th of July weekend, and I remember it was literally the longest weekend of my life until finally the phone rang. My agents and managers called me and said, congratulations, you are going to be a lead on the brand new Netflix series On My Block. And I thought I was dreaming. I remember calling my family, my friends, my girlfriend, and I remember telling them that it was all going to be all right, that I would take care of them, and that the future was nothing but bright. When I look back, I can see every tiny decision that led me there. The nights I stayed home to study, the double shifts, the burnout, the loneliness, the doubts, the risks, the classes I learned from. Every single moment mattered. A lot of it hurt, a lot of it burned, and I still have scars from those days that will live with me forever. But I'm grateful for all of it, because without the flames, I never would have become the person that I am here today. And I like the person I am. So wherever you are in your journey, know that everything you're doing now is shaping you into your future self, for better or worse. So choose to write your story the way you want it to all read one day. Now, this is how I broke into acting at 19 years old, but the industry has completely changed. If you want me and my acting coaches to personally guide you through every one of these steps, join my online acting school that I'm so proud to call the Actors Campus. It's completely free for the first few days, and inside you can explore absolutely everything you need, from joining our weekly live audition technique classes to meeting award-winning casting directors, actors, managers, producers, and writers, to participating in our recommended talent showcase and joining an amazing community of actors who are on the same path as you. Click the link in the description and we'll get you started 100% for free. And if this video helped you, make sure to subscribe. I'm hoping to drop a brand new video every single week in 2026.